News reports out that Rex Tillerson, the CEO of ExxonMobil, will be the new Secretary of State. What in the world? As my dad would say, what is this? As Anna's dad would say, what's the hell? Now, if you're wondering, wait, maybe this CEO of an oil company randomly has experience in diplomacy. No, you're wrong. So, quote here from NBC News, the 64-year-old veteran oil executive has no government or diplomatic experience. So why in the world did he get this job? Well, here's one possible theory. Tillerson has made tens of thousands of dollars worth of political donations over the past 2 decades to Republican groups and candidates, including President George W. Bush, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, according to the Center for Responsive Politics and Nonpartisan Research Group. But that actually way underplays it. ExxonMobil has also given money to PACs. More importantly, the oil industry has a much larger PAC, and they've given tons of money to Republicans, to Republican candidates for specific offices, and the list goes on and on. So, and let alone the lobbying that they have done. So they've spent millions upon millions lobbying Republicans, and lo and behold, you get a Republican president and the former head of the RNC, who's now his chief of staff, Ryan Priebus. His main job was to raise money from guys like this. So then he's now chief of staff. He turns around and he just gives them all the favors that they asked for. Oh, you give me money? Great. I make you Secretary of State. Do you have to have any experience in that? No. Who cares? Trump won. There are no rules anymore. Remember, Trump said drain the swamp. You Trump supporters chanted it with him in those rallies. So if you want him to actually hold true to that, if you're a liberal, moderate, or conservative, you should go right now to tytnetwork.com/stop and sign the petition that says, stop putting your donors in your cabinet. If you wanted to drain the swamp, that's not how you do it. That is outrageous. And Trump supporters should sign that petition more than anyone else. You guys wanted him to clean up the corruption. He just invited the corruption in whole scale. So now, wait, what does ExxonMobil even want with the State Department? Wouldn't they want the Department of Energy or maybe Interior, depending on drilling rights, something more related to oil? No. So let me tell you why they care about it. They explain that about Tillerson, while he has spent his entire career in the energy sector, Tillerson does have experience dealing with foreign governments since ExxonMobil operates in more than 50 countries. You see that? They needed their CEO, which they're about to give a giant golden parachute to, by the way. So they're like, oh, you're about to become Secretary of State? Cash out all of your stock in the most favorable way you can, which one estimate that I saw had it at $151 million. And remember who your friends are. Remember, ExxonMobil has contracts in 50 different countries. Go make that pay off. You couldn't be better positioned unless you're Secretary of State. That's perfect. It's much better than the Department of Energy. Go get ExxonMobil all the contracts throughout the world and make sure that they are enforced. Now you're thinking, well, they're going to get the contracts anyway. This isn't going to affect their bottom line. Hold. I'm going to get to that in a second as well. First, let's go back to Donald Trump and why he appears like he's about to pick Rex Tillerson for this position. He says he's in charge of an oil company that's pretty much double the size of his next serious competitor. It's been a company that's been unbelievably managed. And to me, a great advantage is he knows many of the players, and he knows them well. He does massive deals in Russia. Oh, interesting. He does massive deals for the company. So, look, my guess is that this is more the establishment wing of the Republican Party led by Ryan Priebus saying, hey, Donald, he runs a big company. Donald's like, oh, I like that. I like winners. Oh, he's winning. He's number one in this field. I like it, okay? And he has all these deals all across the world. Now, all those deals are to personally enrich Rex Tillerson, other executives at ExxonMobil, and the shareholders, which, okay, that's their business, right? But if you put him in charge of our State Department, that's supposed to work for all of us, and you unleash him in the world and say, go make as much money as you want, and then take some of that money and funnel it back to the Republican Party through your petroleum PACs and your ExxonMobil PACs and all the ways that you funneled your corrupt money over to the Republicans, and sometimes to the Democrats too, but generally oil companies give more to the Republicans. Okay, everybody's a winner. Corruption 101. Okay, I'm not done yet. So is it true that he's got Russian connections? I mean, Trump said it. Well, let's go back to NBC News. Tillerson already has links to Putin as well after representing the company's interest in Russia during the Boris Yeltsin administration. Great, another cabinet official connected to Russia. Remember when the Republicans used to rail against Russia and say, oh, you got to watch out for Putin and he's authoritarian and they're against our national interests and we have to be wary of them? Now they're like, hey, Vladimir, well, what would you like? Oh, you want Tillerson as Secretary of State? Go ahead, have him. Okay. Oh, you hacked into us? No problem. Don't worry about it. What else do you need, Big Bear? This is the same Republican Party. Okay. Finally, how could they make any difference at the State Department to ExxonMobil's interests? Well, let me give you this interesting fact. One of ExxonMobil's and Russia's biggest deals fell victim to the sanctions imposed by the Obama administration in reaction to Russia invading Crimea in 2014. That deal to drill in the offshore Arctic Kara Sea oil field would have reportedly been worth $500 billion. Not $500 million, $500 billion. So when the Obama State Department said Russia invaded Crimea, we're going to do sanctions, that cost ExxonMobil a tremendous amount of money. Not the entire $500 billion would not have all been profit, but it was a deal that size that would have had billions in profits. So now, what do? You're like, well, those pesky guys over in the Obama administration who are trying to hold Russia in check and care about NATO and our allies and our national security. Get out the way, yo, get out the way. We got billions to make. So Vladimir Putin, what do you need? You want Crimea? Take it. Who else do you need? You want Estonia? Take it. Just make sure that ExxonMobil gets that contract worth $500 billion. Because remember, we're going to funnel some of that money back into the Republican Party and Donald Trump's campaign when he runs again. Corruption 101. This isn't draining the swamp. This is the swamp. We need independent media to make sure that we hold corporate media accountable. The people that can make that happen is you. You make the Young Turks possible. tytnetwork.com/join. Join us. Be the revolution.